Okay, back again. Hang on a moment. Okay, welcome back to the next video on my channel. Welcome back to Candle Links. Thank you all for the support on the first video. I'm really glad how much you guys enjoyed it and how much you are excited to see what I produce, as well as my characters, which this video is going to show. My United OCs. My own OCs from my own world called United. The reason I chose United because, together we can always stay strong. So these are the OCs I've created when I was inspired by multiple creators. One of the biggest was Creative Ninja Wolf. Shout out to her. She commented on the last video. So I will link a Google Doc at the end of this video if you guys want to read more and check it out. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have my phone here as a kind of script to explain, but if you really want to understand more, you can check out the Google Doc at the end. These characters were inspired by multiple things. The first five were inspired by the five-man band. We have two villains, and the rest are kind of inspired based off cats I've seen in my neighborhood, and two of them are based off my family members. I'll get to those in a little bit. So starting off, we have myself, Lynx. He's a male, age 17. He's kind, compassionate, quiet, helpful, loving, calm, introverted, and a Christian. His favorite hobbies are, of course, YouTube, playing Minecraft, creating in any way, shape, or form, and he loves learning about history. The interests here are the same as the fandoms I enjoy. His backstory is, of course, he's a young Canadian lynx that ran away from home because he was mistreated. Because nobody. Wait, I think I said that wrong. Yeah, he was chased away from home because of his interests and passions. He ran away to where this story takes place, the western half of Canada, and of course met the other characters here and continues to be a helpful guidance and a kind person to whoever he's helping, along with him and his friends. There's a cat outside. So here's the next one, Cassidy, female, age 16. She's shy, introverted, quiet, artistic, friendly, and also Christian. Majority of my OCs are Christian. Her hobbies are drawing, watching movies and shows, reading books, and writing stories. There's her interest right here. I might change them a little later, but there you go. She is a very timid character who finds ways to shine in dark moments. As I have written here, as part of the backstory, she doesn't remember much of her original parents. It's because they disappeared when she was like very, very young. So she's been adopted by the family of the next character, and she's grown very close to him and close to my character as well, as we kind of formed a little trio with the next character and Cassidy, of course. Like me, she always finds ways to help and to be kind to others and work together in a group, because the world's called United. So the next character is Leo. He's slightly older, a male, 18, cool, confident, caring, calm, protective. He's good-hearted and a Christian. He loves to hang out with friends, go places, play video games, and just overall have a good time. He likes Star Wars, Minecraft, and several strategy games, including Smash Brothers. He's a cross between a large form of domestic cat and a mountain lion. I know that might not make total sense, but it just came across my mind when I was creating the character. He's the eldest in the family, which Kathy's been adopted, so he's, yes, the adopted older brother. But he's grown to love and care for Cassidy, and he's very protective. Usually meaning he's a bit ignorant as he goes into situations without knowing everything, but that's what makes him a good character because he never does it selfishly. He always does it for those he loves, even if he doesn't know what he's gonna do. And of course, his sister and my character Lynx always are around him, supporting him and telling him, what he should really do in a tough situation. So the next character is Marcus, same age as Leo. He's a male. He's the muscle of the group, the big guy. Is hot for being a big guy. However, he's quite chill. He loves like documentaries, and people call him like a friendly giant. He's quite simple as in base of personality, but he's also like the rest of us here. He's also kind, loving. You know, also Christian. You know, supports his friends. Actually, it's most other characters, like background characters, would be think of him as a strange type of person, but my characters are, of course, the first ones to warm up to him, and he's a good friend within the friend group here in this world. And he also is in a relationship, like actually, 100% relationship with the next character, Melody. Same age as Cassidy. She's quiet, kind, mysterious, loner, but she's quite smart. Kind of the smart person, and she loves music. That's her thing. She loves listening to it, composing, singing, playing, and of course ties it in with like nature. She of course loves a lot of classical music, and is very passionate about conservation. As with like this, type of character, people would say, she's a bit. People would call her, weird, but she's not because she's awesome, and she's also in the friend group here. I mean, I created her as well. But she's also like kind of a little bit more emotional support as well. Not every trope of the five-man band has to be exclusive. She's also loving, caring, helpful, and she's always the one to have a plan. Of course, the smart person trope, and she does what she can to help others and show the love of God. On the quite opposite end of the spectrum, here we have Vixen, the villain of the series. I messed up a little bit of the writing here, but that's okay. He's one of the oldest. He's 50, and he's, of course, mad, insane, mean, messed up, rough, and violent. He has no hobbies and no interest. He was corrupted to believe, that kindness and caring stuff, love, are like lies. So nobody cared for him. And, it's kind of those tragic villain backstories. So he takes matters into his own hands, wanting the world to experience what he experienced. So he formed a clan, and he eventually acts like as a terror, a menace, an evil menace, attacking people without just cause. And there's a personal bandana between him and Leo. Like Leo wants to get him to justice more than anybody because of what he's done to his mother, which is the next character. Despite this, my character, Lynx, believes, yeah, no matter how bad he is, God still loves him and he's willing to forgive him no matter what he does. So we'll see how his story turns out. So this is the mother of Leo. This is the one I said was based off my mom a little bit. I did change the name because it originally had a different name, but I didn't want to reveal the names of my parents. So here is Hannah, not my mom's actual name, 44. She's of course the mother of Leo, and she was very excited. And okay, yes, the mother of Leo, and of course the mother of her adopted daughter Cassidy. Very excited to meet me, but she hasn't yet because she was kidnapped by by Vixen's clan. Sorry, I messed up there. And was brainwashed to become like a weapon, mind controlled. She was able to break free, but she had to run away, hide in the woods, and she's always like fearful that they're gonna find her again. So she's always, worried and unsure, traumatized. But she's still a kind and loving person, and she hopes to make it back to her son, Leo, her daughter, Cassidy, and finally meet me, or Lynx. I don't know why I'm saying me. So next is Andy, based off my actual cat. Not his real name, but he's a chill, lazy, ignorant, kind of friendly. As you can see, he loves napping, exploring, eating, and being noticed. And there's his favorite hobbies right there. He's a domestic Aegean cat who has known my character Lynx in the past and went out looking for him after Lynx disappeared and ended up in the same place with him and his friend group. He's, of course, quite irritable. He gets irritated often. Also quite lazy, of course. And he is friendly, but of course, if you act badly toward against him, he's gonna take that personally. I put questioning Christian because he's like thinking, should I stay in you know Christianity or should I just leave? And that's like what the other characters in his group and my group also try to do. Well, for the most part, my group. His group's a little different. Here we have Sophie, based off another cat in my neighborhood. Also quite young, 15. She's a bit weak, like physically, but she's still kind, friendly, loving, and she enjoys, of course, nature quite a bit. She's the second youngest character. The youngest will come shortly. Of course, she's quiet and shy and prefers to mostly stay around her friends, which is Andy. She also tries to give advice to Andy, even though he rarely listens. And she's the most straight up person when it comes to like the Christianity within Andy's group. She always just tries to do everything, for God, to show God's love and grace, and tries to grow closer with Him, and also to get Andy and the next character to also accept Christ. Speaking of the next character, here we have Sprite. She's kind of the energetic person. She's a bit cautious and indecisive, but she is a nice person through and through. She loves to explore, of course, and like here are some exploration genres of interests. She's loves to explore everything beyond her own neighborhood, of course, coming with Andy and his group over to Western Canada to find me. Sorry, I had to move. Of course, she's good friends with Andy and Sophie. She isn't quite as for the other ones. I put personality Christian. She is not. Even though she's hanging around with Christian people, she's like always questioning because like she feels like she doesn't have time for like Christ and whatever. But my group especially being like the major focus is of course wants everyone to know that God loves them and He has a plan for them. So she's been thinking, questioning about if it's for her. So here we have Tony, the sly trickster type character. He's, of course, a sly loner. You know, everything he does is like scheming. He wasn't originally part of Bobby's group. I mean, sorry, I said the name. Andy's group. But, you know, he came anyways, you know, because he felt like, you know, more opportunities to scheme. That has gotten him out of tricky situations when confronting Vixen's clan, as he kind of acts somewhat of a double agent, you know, giving information, but it's not like the right information, and sometimes relays information back to me, our group, Lynx's group, and Andy's group. I just can't speak today. Yeah, despite his sly nature, he's an asset. Next, we have Martin. Oh, didn't change the slide. He's the second villain-ish character. Because he's a bit more doubtful of Vixen. He also has a personal bandana against Andy because they're from the same neighborhood and they were rivals. He's joined Vixen's group because to get revenge on Andy because they're rivals. However, he's quite questionative and suspicious of Vixen because he feels like sometimes he takes it too far and that what he does is not enough to lead the clan. All Vixen's focused on is making people suffer. So he's like in most stories like the second villain who's like, it would be wise to underestimate our opponents, while the other one is like, no way, you're crazy. So yeah, that's Martin. Okay. Oh, I forgot to change the name here. But this is Tio. I had to rename it because, I didn't want to reveal too much information. But this is an OC based off my father. Sadly, about a year ago, my father passed away in a car accident. But he was always loving, kind, and he's saved by Christ. He gave his life to Christ. I'm sure of that. He loved history and music. As in terms of the story, I'm still figuring out where to put him. I don't think I don't feel like having him as a ghost because I don't feel like that would be. Um, I might put him as something. This was one I kind of just made, in my time of like grieving, so I could remember him. So yeah, I always have my father imprinted, in this character. And when you check out the Google Docs, it would say, disclaimer that the story is still being worked on. Okay, we have Mellow, which is kind of a weird coincidence. So for a while, I saw this cat, and I thought the name was Mellow, and there was also a smaller kitten going around her. So I thought this character was a female. So not much is known because I made a mistake. But I was like, let's keep this character and just add to the actual cat from my neighborhood as another character. So she's nothing is known about her except she's young and seems cold on the outside, but she has a heart, and she's taking care of the kitten I saw. Which, speaking of which, here it is. Here he is, or she, sorry. This is Michigan. Yes, named after the state I live in. But that was what my cousin named her. The youngest character, of course. Very, very shy, sad, quiet, bit weak. That was the one we found her, at least. My cousin took her with her, that's a tongue twister to say, back to her house. And she's doing better, enjoying life. But in terms of this story, was an abandoned stray. Sorry about that. And sees Mello as a motherly figure. She's the most innocent one here because of how young she is. And the last major character is Ashes. This was the cat who I thought was Mello, but then I took a name at his collar and it's like, oh, that's a nice name. So Ashes it is. I did make it, so he is the brother, of course, to Mello. That's why they look kind of alike, if you could maybe tell. He's always a bit sad, kind of slightly. He's a bit depressed. He has a similar story to me, although unlike me, where I was able to handle, getting over a very sad part of my life or my character's life. He hasn't really. He feels like all he has now is just his sister, which he went to find in the West, Canadian West, which he did, but he's still always quite sad. His sister, and my group especially, always try to comfort him. So that's good. So fun. So next, we have like the world of United, because I've been saying United and Western Canada for the most part. So the story of United is just basically Western Canada, in the areas around Calgary and Vancouver, and in between, where my group, Andy's group, and Vixen's clan, are like that's like the center area. As the story progresses, we'll also explore some other groups in Canada, and obviously, the majority of the story is in Canada. Some of the characters come from other places, like my character comes from where I live. I mean, I'm not going to say exactly where that is, but it's in Michigan, like Michigan, the character, as well as some of the others. And the reason I chose Canada, because as you can probably, of course, tell, my channel name is Candle Links. I love Canada, even though I'm not from there. I just love the country. And I've always wanted to explore Western Canada. I've been to Calgary. I've yet to go to Vancouver, but I definitely want to explore that in the future. So the communities there, I will research, to be like actual towns and communities around, Calgary, Alberta, and British Columbia. And that's the end, or like at least the end of what I'm showing here. I have way more projects I'm also going to work on. As you could see here, I have a Link's Reptilian AU alternate universe if it can load. Okay, yeah, here we go. The Reptilian species is an original species by Aniko. She also commented in the last video. Shout out to her. This is her website, which I learned everything. I'm taking like what's been said from her website, which is right here, if it can load. Yet here it is. Shout out to her website as well. I've been reading a lot from the Eye of the Eclipse, or like her original species, and the Land of Sakura, like for my characters AU. So yeah, I'm gonna be posting like small little snippets of information about that, here and there. The other one I'm working on free. Yes, I take on like quite a bit of projects, but I mean, what can you do? So this is Hermit Clan, Hermitcraft, X Warriors. As I mentioned in the last video, I love Hermitcraft and Warriors, so I was like, why not, put them together? So I have every single Hermit of the current lineup in Season 9, plus Tinfoil Chef, who passed away a couple months ago, who's part of Star Clan, of course. And I'm going to, of course, be telling a original story involving the characters, the Hermits as Warrior Cats. And next is The Lost SMP, which is a MCYT or Minecraft YouTuber, fan fiction. I mostly stick to the Hermitcraft side of the Minecraft YouTuber, fan community, whatever it's called. And if you want to learn more about the creators mentioned here, you can search them up on Wikitubia. I did add some of the people because I feel like it would be a similar nice vibe with the story I want to tell. It's a post-apocalyptic world with a bit of lore, magical lore, only the type of lore they would come up with. We have Armycraft members Korean, Mumbo, Gemini Tay, also a member of Empires with Flip, Solidarity Gaming, and Scott's Major. Two members from the Sleepy Boys, which is Wilbur Sutton and Filza, and two members from, well, they've been in a lot of other stuff, but most recently we're part of the Rats SMP, Shoes TV, and Beckham on YT. You can explore more. I do have some of them written, as you can see. We have Green, and I will leave links to these, maybe not at the end of this video, but eventually. So as we wrap up, another thing I'd like to say, from my characters, if the thing can load, any moment, yeah. Of any of my characters, any of the ones I've shown here, you are allowed to, like, if you want, you can make art of them and send it to me via like community posts. I will make a post about how to actually send it to me. As an example, I mean, this one I did ask, but shout out to Storm Sky on Instagram for making this amazing rendition of Link's my OC. Go give her a follow. This was incredible. And well, yeah, this is my channel, a bunch of my community posts. So I just want to thank you guys for watching. Sorry if this, a lot of my videos aren't really planned out, but I'm like, hey, let's just go with it. Thank you guys for watching. I really support all the support you guys have been giving me. So, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.